Hi everyone, this is Jan, and today we're going to be doing cute little garden friends. I have a little bumblebee here, and we're going to be doing coasters. I thought they were really cute, just in time for spring. Also, I'm doing a set of 3 because the patterns are on the Solaris here. And I wanted to use those patterns because I just thought they were cute, and I was thinking about spring. Now the other little pot holder or coaster we have is this one here. Did a little butterfly, and of course the bumblebee. Look how cute he is. This is the one that really inspired me because I had bumblebee fabric and I saw that little design, and I thought, oh, that would be so cute in coasters, and I knew we had the honeycomb fancy fill, and so I just decided to do these little coasters. So let me get out of this, and we will go back to the home button here. Well, I have a mouse here. I keep forgetting I have it here. And I'll get out of that. And then what we're going to do is go to IQ Designer. And the first thing we need to do, let me show you what you need to do when you do these designs. I have a little book here, and you might can screenshot this. Let's see, let me turn it this way. I don't know if you can read my writing. But what you do is you write down the different steps that you're going to need to do design. And then I have what size I used. I'll have what it is. Is it the fancy fill? Is it a placement line, fabric overlay, that sort of thing. So I have just little bits of information, and you can get these little tablets. They're just little pocket notebooks. You can probably get 5 for $1 at the Dollar Tree. But I use these whenever I'm starting to do a design, like I'm going to show you on what we're going to do. Now, step number 1 is going to be a red line, and it's going to be an outside placement line is what I call it, and it's an outline of your coaster. Okay, so I need to go in here and I need to go to shapes. We need to pick our shape first of our coaster, and I chose this one right here, the 2. I wanted rounded corners, so I chose 2. And click OK. And the size I chose, go to size. And if you have the key tablet here, you can go to your key tablet and you can poke in 5.75, set, 5.75, set. And that will give you the correct size, well, that I used. If you want to do one bigger, you can do one bigger. And then go ahead and push OK. So there's my size. Now I want to go up here and I want line properties, and I want this to be a running stitch. I want the color to be red. Click OK. Now go up here to your bucket. Touch the line to turn it red. And we want to save this red line because we're going to pull it up later when we do our backing. So you want to go down here to memory. You want to put it in memory. Put it in your machine. Okay. Then you're going to go next. And this is the stitch length, and I changed mine to 100. I like that stitch a lot better. Click OK. Click Set. OK. And there's your first outline that you're going to be doing. This is a placement line. It's going to tell you how big your coaster's going to be. Gives you a placement line for your batting also. So the next line we want to put in is the stitch down for our batting. So we're going to go down here to go to Add, IQ Designer, and I am going to go ahead and go to Shapes again. I'm going to click the same one, number 02, click OK. And for this size, I want this one to be 5.50. So I'm going to go to the keypad, 5.50, set, 5.50, set. Okay. Now go up here, go to Line Properties. I want this one to be a running stitch. I want it green. Click OK. Go to your bucket and click the line to turn it green. This line I also want to save because we're going to be using it when we do our backing. So go ahead and put this in memory on the machine. Go Next. I also want this one to be 100. Click OK. Set it. OK. And now you have that one in the menu. So we have our placement line, and now we have our tack down line for the batting. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to tack down our inner fabric. Now that would be the inner fabric on these is the white fabric. We need a tack down around here so that it'll tack down our inner fabric. Okay, so for that one, we're going to pull, let's see, wait a minute, for the inner fabric, okay, so let's go ahead and go to Add, oops, got the wrong mouse here, let's go Add, let's go IQ Designer. Okay, for the inner fabric, I don't have a number on here. Okay, so we'll do our own. Let's go ahead and go to Shapes. Let's go ahead and go to 02. OK. And for the size on this one, I want this, that. So let's go Add, IQ Designer. Go to Shapes again. Click on 2. OK. Let's go to Size. Let's see, that one was on 5. Let's go, do I want an inch? 4 point, let's go 450. Okay, 4.50, set, 4.50, set. Then go OK. Let's go to Line Properties. You want a straight stitch. I'm still going to choose the purple. Click OK. Click the bucket. Click the line. Okay, I'm going to save this one in memory. To the machine. Go Next. 100. OK. Set. OK. Now I like that one better. See, I have more border right here. Now if you wanted to pull that down even smaller, I'm thinking I went like 1.5 inches on that. Let me get a little ruler here. No, I'm about 1 inch. So 4.75, and I went lower than that. But see, I have, I'm going to be sewing out on the green line there. I would still like to have that smaller on that. Okay, I'm going to leave this as is so I can continue filming. But you decide how much of a border that you want on that, because as you can see, I have plenty of room on this. See, to even go down smaller or larger on my design here. So we're going to keep that like it is. So that's the purple line, and that is going to base down our inner fabric, the white fabric that I have here. So once I get that base down, the next thing that I want to do is do a fancy fill. So I have the purple line saved. So I want to go add IQ Designer. I want to go up to the pocket here with the arrow. And I want to pull out that purple line I just put in there. Now remember, this first one here, this one here wasn't the correct line because I changed it. So I can click on this and I can delete that. So go ahead and delete that. Yes, I want to delete it. Okay, it's deleting. Okay, so now I have all three of the correct lines on there. Okay, so let's pick up the purple. Go OK. And now we want to do our fancy fill, so I'm going to go to Line Properties. I'm going to go No Sew. Click OK. Go to the bucket, and we want to touch this purple line and turn it gray. Then we want to go right over here to Fill Properties. I want to touch Select here. And you want the honeycomb. There's the honeycomb. Click OK. And I want that to be in blue. I usually do the fancy fills in blue. You can choose your own colors. Go to the bucket. Click in the center of that. Okay, I don't need to save this. So go next. Here are the settings. Now, I think I left mine at 100. I'm pretty sure I did. And you can put that in your notes too. That would be a good thing to put. Okay, my outline. I want my outline on so I don't have a bunch of start and stops on the edges there. So click on. I also only want this to stitch one round. I don't want a lot of thickness, so I'll click on that. Okay, now I'll click Set, OK, and now I have it in the menu. Now the next thing we need to do is we need to add our design. Okay, we need to put our little bee design in it. So then we're going to go Add, and my bee design was here in Menu 2. And then it's on 1 there. Let's see, can I scroll down? It was near the bottom. There it is. See, I'm going to do the little ladybug too, so I have 3 of them. So click on your bumblebee. Click Set. Okay, now our bumblebee is real small. So let's go up here to Edit, Size. And I want to enlarge that as much as I can. So click this button here so all of your stitches will calculate all together. Click OK. And let's enlarge this. This is the enlarge button. Enlarge it until it won't go anymore. Okay, that's as large as it's going to go on that. So then you go ahead and center, click your dot, and then click OK. All right. Now I don't need this in memory. So the design is in there, even though you don't think it is there. Now the next thing we want to do, once that stitches out, we need to put our fabric, our border fabric, which is the outside border. We need to put our bumblebee fabric, this yellow fabric, over the whole front of that. Okay? And this is for our fabric placement. So you go ahead, once you stitch your design here, you go ahead and put your fabric over the top of this, and we're going to tack it down now. So let's go add, and we want to bring in our, go to IQ, go to the pocket with the arrow, and we want to bring in our red square. And it helps to mark these numbers down. This is number 210. You can go up here with, put red down there, and you want to mark these numbers. And this one here and here. Your numbers are going to be different. But mark them on your notes. That way when you want to do another one, you know which squares to pull up, okay? These I did the other day. These numbers are different than what I'm doing right now. Okay, so we want the red square. Click OK. Okay, now we go ahead and go to line properties. I want a straight stitch, and I'm just going to, now I can keep this same color. I'm just going to change the red a little bit to the one maybe up above it, so it's just a little different, and then click OK. We're going to go to the bucket, and we're just going to change that color just a little bit, and I don't need to save this. Go next, and again I want to change this to 100. Okay. Set. Okay. And now we have this right here. Okay, now we have the red. Now we need to make a stitch for our inner border here. Okay, now we're doing the stitch that the candle wicking is going to be on here in just a minute, but we need to go ahead and make a tack down stitch on our coaster here. So let's go ahead and go add IQ Designer. Let's go up to the pocket with the arrow, and this one we want our purple one. Remember, that's the outline for our inner fabric there. So click on that, go OK, go to line properties, and I usually, this is a running stitch, and I just change it to a lighter purple. I stay in the same color family as the original one I did. Go to bucket, touch the line till it turns lavender, and then go next. We want to change it to 100. Okay. Set. Okay. All right, so now we have our bumblebee, we have our outer placement line on our border fabric. Here's the inner placement line on that fabric. And then the next thing we need to do is we need to do our candle wicking. Okay, so once you have these two lines stitched, what you do is you come back and you cut out the center part of the fabric. I think that's called reverse applique. All right, you have to cut that piece of fabric, of outer fabric here, out so that you can see your design and everything before we do the candle wicking. Okay, so we're going to get ready to do the candle wicking, and for the candle wicking we need to go add IQ Designer, pocket with the arrow going out, and I need that purple line again. Okay, click OK. Now let's go to line properties. For this, I want a candle wick, so I'm going to click on that. And I like to use a gold color because it shows up over here. Click OK. Go to the bucket, touch the purple line to turn it to gold. Go next. You're going to get your settings. My settings that I do, I make my candle wicking a 3.00. 0.300. Click OK. On the spacing, I go clear down to 0. OK. Now you can go ahead and push set. OK. Alright, and now we have our candle wicking. Now, the next thing I did, now I did put a little trim in here at first, but once I sewed these up, I didn't want the trim because I wanted the fabric to show. I didn't want a trim in there, so I'm going to omit the trim that I had the first time I did it. It's going to be done like what I have right here. So the last step we need to do is to do our backing, the backing fabric. So go add, IQ, go to the pocket with the arrow, and I want to pull up my green line. I don't want my red one because I want the green one so that this line doesn't show after we turn it inside out, and that will happen sometimes. So I'm going to choose the green line, which is what we did our batting, that line. Click OK. Alright, go to line properties. We want a straight stitch. And for that one, we could use pink. We haven't used pink, so let's go pink. Go OK. Go to the bucket. Turn it pink. Okay. And then next, I still want this to be 100. OK. Set. OK. All right. So we've completed our coaster. Okay, let's see how many steps we have in here. We've got our 3 basic steps, our fancy fill, we have the bumblebee pattern, and if you don't have this bumblebee, you put a small pattern that will fit into your coaster. Then we have our tack downs for our border fabric. We have the outside, we have the inner border, then we cut our fabric, and then we do our candle wicking around that, and then the last stitch is to put on our backing on our coaster. Okay, so once you have that done, don't forget to save it. Go ahead and put it in memory. Put it in your machine or a USB or a card. So I'm going to go to the machine. Okay, so that put it in the machine. Now if you want to stitch this out right now, you just go ahead and hit embroidery and you can go ahead and sew it out. But if you don't want to sew it out right now, what you can do is go up here to the home button. Say you want to do it tomorrow, you're finished for today, so click home button, click OK. Okay, today is the next day, so then you're going to go into embroidery. You're going to click on your pocket, and then you're going to click on your design right here. It's right here in the machine. Then you're just going to pull it up and set in embroidery. And that's all there is to it. Now I want to go back. Let's go return. Okay. Let's go home. Okay. I just want to show you. going here. Now when I first did this, I wanted to show you I did it with a border on it. Okay, let me go up here. I did it with this little border around it, and I did that because I didn't know if I put the fabric on there, if there would be a lot of puckering, you know, once you got everything on. Sometimes if your border's too big, it will tend to pucker up. So I went ahead and put it in just in case it did, but once I stitched it out, it didn't pucker at all because I had the fusible batting on this coaster. You know, the batting that Gloria sells, the heavy fusible batting. So with the fusible batting, it went ahead and did fine. I didn't have any puckering at all. But I omitted it because I wanted my fabric to show the little bees and the honeycombs on the border. And if I put this border on, it wouldn't show. So I kind of put that just as a something else I could stitch out, and if I didn't want it on there, then I could just bypass it. Okay, so that's that. All right, now the next thing that I'm going to show you on this video, and stay tuned to see the second half of this, because what I'm going to show you can be helpful if you own Solaris or the Avenir. I'm not for sure if the Destiny has this either, but I'm going to go into this icon right here, and this is called Embroidery Order Key. Now, my Stellaire does not have this one, so I'm thinking the only machines that have this key right here is the machines that have the built-in cameras. You know, which would be your Lumineers. I don't know if the Dream machines have it. Your Solarises. I don't know if the Destiny has it. And any machines above that have this icon here. I don't even know if this was an upgrade. Came with the upgrade or whatever. I just don't know. My machine's a Solaris 2. This was upgraded to a Vision. So if you have this key right here, has 3 little boxes, okay, then you'll be able to do this next step that I'm going to show you, and it's really going to save you a lot of time because you can use this icon here to change your patterns. So you'll be able to go into Edit, and you will be able to change your design and your fancy fills without having to redo your whole coaster. You know, doing all the steps in the coaster. You'll be able to change them out each time you want to do a different design or fill in it. And this button allows you to put that in the order it needs to be in, because if I go back in here and I go add, it's going to add it to the bottom of your embroidery. But with this button, it will let me move, let's say the fancy fill, a new fancy fill up so that it's placed where it needs to be so that it will stitch out correctly. Okay, so anyway, all right, let me get to doing the other video, and I'll see you in a few. Okay, everyone, I'm back. And now what I want to do is I want to go into the same design that we just got finished doing. So I'm going to go into embroidery. We're going to go to the pocket. I'm going to pull up the design we just did. I'm going to set. Do not click embroidery. Okay, we need to be in the edit mode. So you've finished stitching your design and you want to do another coaster, but you want to change your design and your fancy fill. So this is how you're going to do that. So you have all these arrows here. So I'm going to change the fancy fill first. So what I do is I go ahead and click on it, and you'll notice the color will come up. And that's how you tell, yes, that's the same one. Now what I'm going to do is I am going to go down here and I'm going to click on delete. But before I even do that, you know what I'm going to do? I am going to save this to memory again so that I have two designs in here. So I'm going to go to memory and save it again. Let's go out of here. Okay, let's go ahead and start this. So embroidery, go to the pocket. Okay, I have two designs in here, and that's what you want to do. You want to save another design in case something goes wrong and you mess up or something, so that you have a backup that is still good. Okay, so I'm going to go into this one we just saved. Go set. Okay, now we're going to edit what we have here. So I want to change the fancy fill first. So I'm going to click on it. I know that's the fancy fill because we did it in blue. Then what I'm going to do is come right over here and click delete. Yes, okay. All right, now it's gone. Now, see, here we are. Okay, now what I want to do is go add, IQ Designer. I want to go to the pocket with the arrow. Okay, now remember these three squares we had? I want to go to the purple one because we're going to do another fancy fill. So, click on that, click OK, click on Line Properties. Okay, back out of this. No, we stay in this. We're going to do a no-sew. I knew I had to go in here for something. Okay, do your bucket. Click on the purple line to turn it gray for a no-sew. Then go over here to Fill Properties. Click on the box. I want the little vine because I did a little butterfly. I thought that would be cute. Click OK. And I did green. Click OK. Just like you were doing your regular design here. Now click the bucket. Fill that in. Go next. I want to turn the outline on. Click OK. And I just want it to stitch the one run. Click OK. And I kept it at 100. So go ahead and set it. OK. Alright. Now, this is where you have to use the embroidery order key. So, you notice when you change something, it's going to put it down here at the bottom. Okay, see, there's our fancy fill we just did. So what I want to do, I need to move it all the way up here. Okay, so I go to Edit, and I want to click on this key here, and it shows me where it is. It's at the bottom. Now I want to move it up. So to move it up, I want to move it up one at a time. So I'm going to use this key. This key here would move it clear to the front, the top. So click that once. Okay, see, it moved it up once. Go again. Now we're up above the candle wicking. Again. Okay. Let me pull that down. We have to get this to where it is up further. Okay, keep going. Okay, we want that one to be just before you put your bee on. Okay, so go OK. Alright, so that one's moved into place. Now what we want to do is go ahead and click on Edit again. Why my mouse won't go over there. Okay, so the next thing we need to do, see, everything's still in line. So next we want to change our design. Okay, so that's in there. I need to click on the bumblebee. Okay, there's all the colors for the bumblebee. So I need to go over here and I need to push on delete. Go OK. Now push add again. I'm going to go over here to my designs. And I know that the next one I wanted was a little ladybug here. But the one I did, I went from the bumblebee to the little butterfly. So let's go ahead and do the little butterfly. Go set. And again, we need to edit and change the size. So go to Edit Size. Click on this icon here. When you resize, click OK. And I enlarged this one maybe just a few below that. I don't want it to run into the candle wicking. Okay, and then I push center. Okay. Alright, now that one's in there. Now I'm going to go back to Edit. I'm going to see where it is, and it should be down at the bottom there, and it is. See, it's below our little pink line, which is the last color that we did. So I want to go to Edit, and I want to go ahead and go to this icon here. There it is, and I want to move it up one at a time. I want it just below the fancy fill. One more. Okay. Now it's just below the fancy fill. What's the move? Okay, that's where I want it. Okay. That's where it is there. Alright, now go to Edit again. Let me check where everything is. We have our red line, our green line, our purple line. Then we have our fancy fill. Then we have our butterfly right here. Then we have our fabric overlay stitch, our interlay stitch. Then we have our candle wicking, and then we have our backing. Okay, everything is in order, and at this time, what you would want to do is put this in memory. Save it to your machine. Okay, then you could go ahead and go over here to embroidery, and then you could go ahead and stitch it out. but I thought that was so neat to learn what that icon did, so that you don't have to start over and do this whole thing over if you wanted to do more than one coaster and you just wanted to change your design in it. If you have that embroidery order key, you can go ahead and do that. Now you can still do that, but you have to do it a different way if you're on a Still Air or any of the machines that are not a top-of-the-line machine. Okay, I just want to show you this one. If you do have a top-of-the-line machine, it's really a nice way to do that. I was excited to learn what that key did. So I have a lot of fun. I'm going to use it again to do the little ladybug here. So thank you for joining me. And don't forget to like and subscribe. When you subscribe, you get all the notifications when I have a new video out and you don't miss anything. You can share my videos with any of your sewing friends if you want to. And stop by my eBay store and see all the little pretties I have for home decor. I have floral paintings that I paint. I have coasters. I have mug rugs. I have table toppers. Might be something in there. Very reasonable price. They're not overpriced at all. You might find something you might like to have in your home also. And I will have a link below that is in my description box if you want to check that out. So thank you for joining me. Take care, and until next time, bye for now.